Hello, wonderful nonprofit heroes and rock stars. Today, we're going to do a deeper dive into the Nonprofit Success Pack, and specifically, we're going to talk about affiliations. Often, as a nonprofit, we have people who interact with lots of different organizations, either as employees, as board members, as all sorts of different roles. And the question that often comes up early on in using Salesforce is, how the heck do I show all the different ways, all the different organizations that my contacts are interacting with? And the answer is affiliations. Unfortunately, Salesforce doesn't show you the affiliations in the Nonprofit Success Pack by default, especially on contacts. So what I want to do today is I want to get you kind of through the setup process of how to make sure that your affiliations show up, make sure they show up correctly, and show you what they do and how to use them. So with that idea, let's dive in. We've got, in my test organization here, we've got this wonderful contact, John Doe. John Doe owns a company, he's a board member at another company, and he gives to us. Thank goodness for John Doe. He's a rock star. And I want to make sure that I track all those different pieces. But when I go in and I open up his contact, I don't see any way to add additional accounts. I can see that he's connected to the Doe household. And because NPSP, Nonprofit Success Pack, uses the household model as default, this is where most of my contacts end up, is just in their household. How do I add them to an organization? The answer is affiliations. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that affiliations are showing up on both our organization accounts and our contact account pages. To do that, we're going to open up Setup. And to do that, we click on this little icon in the top right, this Setup cog, and we click Setup. All right. Once setup loads, we need to go into the Object Manager, and this is where we do any field updates, any page layout updates for any of our objects. So it's something that you're going to spend a fair bit of time with as an administrator. Once we open this up, we're looking specifically for our account object and our contact object. We've got our contact object there. And I've got, let's go ahead and do our contact first. And once we open up this, we need to go to our page layouts, because the affiliations exist, they're just not being shown to us. And I've got a lot of them in here. You might not have this many, but what we're looking for is our general contact layout. And once our page layout builder opens, there's a couple of things we want to do. And this can get a little overwhelming, so I want to make sure to make it easy. Because this is where all the fields, the buttons, the lists, everything, this is how you determine what shows up where. And what we're looking for specifically is those affiliations. So if we scroll down on this little list on the left-hand side, and we go to related lists, this shows us all the different related lists. And you can tell which ones are on the page by the way that they look up in this top list here. So if they're kind of grayed out and the text is gray, then they're already on our page. But if they're a little darker and the text is readable, then they're not on the page yet. And so you can see, like, opportunities, if I search for opportunities in here, opportunities is already on here. And if I click on it, it highlights it to show me where it is. What I'm looking for is affiliations. So I start searching for affiliations, and here's my organization affiliations. All I need to do is click this and drag it down into my related lists. Once I do that, it shows up down here. Now, an important thing to recognize is that this is telling me which fields are going to be shown on an affiliation when I look at a contact. And I might want to change those so that more than just the affiliation name shows up. In order to change these, we just click on this little wrench icon. And we get this pop-up, which has all the different fields attached to this object, to this related list, so that we can put those onto our page layout. So what I'm going to put on here is I'm going to put an affiliation role, an affiliation status, maybe a start date. And I think that should be all I need, other than maybe the account name. That's an important one so that I can see who's doing what. Okay. If I hit OK, and you can pick whatever fields make the most sense for you, then I'm going to go click Save. going to say yes. And now I'm going to go make sure that on my account object, I've got the same things. So I've already done a little bit of legwork here. You can see that I've already added the related list for account. It's affiliated contacts on this side, so it's not organization affiliations, it's affiliated contacts. We've got the name, first name, last name, affiliation role, status, start, end date. We'll save that as well. Now I can go back to my John Doe contact. Now, by default, I still don't see it because I have to refresh the page. So once I refresh the page, now I see a new related list for John Doe that says organization affiliations. And I can click on new. From here, I notate the organization that he's a part of. Maybe he's a part of Express Logistics and he's the owner of Express Logistics. So I'm going to say he's the owner. And start date, you can either put the day that he started being an owner, or you can put the day that you started interacting with him as an owner. As an owner, he's definitely our primary contact. He's the one that we want to make sure we know is the primary. He's a current employee. And inside here, we can add any additional notes that we might need about this. So we could say that John started this company in 2002 and wants to donate to us through his company. We can hit save. Now what we'll see is we've got this affiliation here. Fantastic. This tells us what we need to know. I can add another affiliation for maybe an organization that he is the board, one of the board members of, Burlington Textiles Corp of America. These are really silly names, but these will be the organizations that you interact with most in your org. And let's say he's a board member. Again, let's say we started talking to him on the 1st as a board member. He's still a board member right now, but he's not the primary contact at this organization, whoever our main point of contact there is. Maybe it's Joe or John, maybe it's not. We'll go ahead and hit save. And now we can see each of these. I can click on the affiliation name and it'll show me the information just for that affiliation, right? So Express Logistics owner, there's the description, there's John Doe. All of that comes up. If I go to my account page, and now when I open up that account from the affiliated contacts screen, from the affiliation screen, I see affiliated contacts, John Doe, who is the owner. This is really awesome. So this is the way that your organization can connect a single contact to multiple accounts, organization accounts, so that you can get a full picture of who your contacts are and how they're interacting with organizations in your community. Now that you've got that in your tool belt, go set up some affiliations, give it a try, let me know what goes right, what goes wrong, and where I might be able to help. And until next time, keep doing an awesome job of creating a greater impact in your community.